All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us. My name is David Graham, and this is Marty Flanagan. We are both with Iron 24, the executive team, and we just wanted to jump on today and talk to you a little bit about the operations of an Iron 24 and what that means for our franchisees. So important, such an important part of our support infrastructure, such an important part of your daily life after you become a franchisee. So let's dig in a little bit on that, and then I'm going to talk about support, and then Marty's going to come up and talk a little bit about what your day in your life is going to look like. So, on the support side, what we've done is set up a franchisee success team. What does that mean to you? It means sometimes we're talking about working in your business, and sometimes we're talking about working on your business. The operations side, what you do on the day to day, how you're engaging with your leads, how you're engaging with your members, the cleanliness of your club, all that stuff is working in your club, right? That's in your business. Working on your business is how do I drive new people to know more about what I'm doing? How do I make sure my books are kept correct and up to date? How do I, find the right people and trainers and whatnot to work in my clubs? So we have both sides of that, and so we take those responsibilities very, very seriously, and that's why we put them in kind of different categories. And you'll have regular weekly check-ins with our both teams. Everybody on our team can see it. And then also you'll have regular calls with various people throughout the team, throughout your month. You'll have, town hall meetings with the marketing team. You'll have feedback loop meetings, reviewing your digital marketing strategies and things with various team members or vendors or whatnot in our group. So you're always going to be engaged. You're always going to feel well supported, and you'll have us as the backstop. When you don't know what to do, you'll always have somebody to call. And I think that's such an important part of franchising. Wouldn't you agree, Marty?
Definitely. What I've been saying to franchisees for 20 years, and I think it just rings true with what you just said, is if you ever feel like you're in this and you're just on an island all by yourself, that is head games, because you're not. You're not all by yourself. You have an entire support team. But what happens is we get caught up in our own muck, and we're out there and we're trying to figure things out, and we don't make that phone call. We don't reach out, and then we start to feel like we're all alone. Like they don't understand me, they don't understand my market, they don't understand my struggles. And you're right, we're not going to fully understand everything. But what we can do is coach you through your hurdles as an entrepreneur, because that's really what it is. It's not the gym business, it's you as an entrepreneur. And how do we help you through the different hurdles you're going to face on your journey? And that's really what franchise support is. Yes, we can talk about the fundamentals of the business, but the source of it all is you and how you handle the different challenges that come up as an entrepreneur. And some of us are new entrepreneurs, some of us are seasoned. You talk to the most seasoned entrepreneurs, they want to have support, they want to have camaraderie, they want to have mentorship, they want to have guidance. The most successful entrepreneurs don't do it all alone. They have a group. There are entrepreneur groups everywhere that help and support one another. That's what a franchise is. We are here to help and support you through the different challenges you face in your market with your business, and on the ground, if you want to say it that
That's
way.
right.
So
I think every business person wants a mentor, somebody to help them along their path. And no matter if you're just starting a franchise or you've been in business for yourself for 20 years, you can always use a different perspective and a new look at stuff. I do it all the time. I'm sure
well, and
you have
sometimes
too.
we make little pebbles into boulders. Like
That's
this,
right.
not that big of a deal, but we make it into this enormous deal. You don't understand. I can't do X if I don't have Y. And when I hear that, I just ask, what are you trying to communicate to me? What are you trying to say? And let them
Hmm.
talk, because
Yeah.
they typically start talking, and then they themselves come to the conclusion that, oh, you're right. That's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
And we work through that. But sometimes you need that sounding board, and
And
that's
sometimes it's the
that's
stress of something else kind of kicking in that it makes this thing a mountain from a molehill, so to speak.
yeah,
So,
our spillover. Yep.
yeah. So why don't you talk a little bit about the day in the life of actually operating a gym and Iron 24?
So let's go to, like, I've literally worked in health clubs all over the country. I started working in health clubs when I was 14, and I'm 50, right? So I've literally worked in health clubs in different countries. I've worked all over the US. And one thing that has to be like really addressed is understanding that we as a franchisor do not believe that one Iron 24 model works in every single market. That it's not a one
So
size
true.
fits all franchise that, hey, what I'm doing here is going to work there. So let's do. Do you know how many times I've worked with a multi-club owner that was so successful with their first location, and then they went to expand, and then that second location failed miserably, and then their
Hmm.
first location also suffered? Is it the
Yeah.
market? Did they get stretched too thin? Are they not duplicatable? What was the success of that location? Is it them? Was it the area? Was it the space? Was it, there's all
Yeah,
these things
but
that
you've
come
seen the
into it.
opposite of that too, where people can duplicate themselves, where they do have processes in place that where they can be successful, where they do bring on, if you're going to do a lot of these, you probably bring in an area manager or something like that to really kind of break up the workload. So speak to that a little bit. What do those processes in the clubs look like? And you don't have to be specific. Don't give away the
Yeah.
secret sauce,
Yeah,
but
yeah. Well, one thing is understanding what we have done as a franchise, or to understand what it is like to be in there every day. What does bog Marty down, or David down, or what does bog that individual down? What causes the spillover so that when they have to deliver solid member service and experience, they can't do it because they just got off this phone call and were, just bogged down with that
right.
negativity. What we've done is we've actually not tried, we were successful in eliminating a lot of this operational stuff. What are the biggest tension points inside of a club? Feeling like I got pressured to sign up, feeling like I got pressured and I couldn't cancel, right? That
Yeah,
causes issues. There's a lot of issues that happen in clubs that are all about like the operational side of it, the paperwork, the billing, gaining access. Why can't I get access? And why you can't this? Well, if you eliminate the gatekeeper, if they are called that, as a manager of delivering all the rules, then they're no longer going to be the source of the anger or frustration of not allowing a guest come in, or my billing didn't work, or about canceling. They now they become just focused on member experience.
that's
and
right.
and that's what they can focus on is connecting with the new members, connecting with existing members, taking care of any issues. If it's a cleanliness, a broken piece of equipment, no club is ever going to be perfectly
Well,
clean,
I
and no club
agree.
is not going to have a broken piece of equipment at a time or here or there, right?
Yeah.
It's being attentive to those and our members, that allow members to give us more grace when something breaks or when something's dirty, because they trust us, they know we're on it, right?
Right.
So when
So
you
that
think of like,
relationship
yeah,
with a manager typically kind of, you're right. Some people join and then they want to blame the manager because they talked them into it or something. It's really hard to say that we talked them into it when they used the app and they signed up for whatever they wanted to, right? And
yep,
that we didn't have a push. We call it no BS, no boring salespeople. Like we didn't push you into that channel. So that if there is a person in an we're an staff optional model, but if you do have somebody there, your members now know that person is just there to their benefit. They're just there to make sure that the place is kept clean, the weights are racked, keeping the
that
momentum of
recovery
the
area clean, you
recovery
know,
areas clean, all that kind of stuff. So I think it does kind of set us on the same side of the table with our members a lot more than a traditional gym model, where they might have felt like this guy was my sales guy in the beginning.
so
And so
yeah,
I
so
think that's an important distinction.
it drills down on what you're supposed to be doing. You've owned health clubs, I've owned health clubs. There's nothing worse than owning a health club and feeling like you are handcuffed to your manager.
That's
That
right.
is one of the worst, because you can't then push your manager too much, because then what if they quit? I can't leave my full-time job. I can't go do this. So
That's right.
the accountability to the manager becomes difficult. Well, do you think that spills over to the members? Of course it does. Does it spill over to them being productive when somebody comes in and has a question or an issue? I mean, some people still want tours. They still want to be walked around. They still want to talk to somebody. And that happens sometimes still. There are people that like to do that. 90% of what we see is them just signing up and doing using the app and not really talking to anybody. But when you're on the ground and you're inside, there's going to be different stuff that comes up. I mean, I spent
Right.
13 years of my life on the health club floor. 13 years of my life talking to members, doing tours and candidates and selling memberships. And I love it. And the reason I loved it because I didn't have to do any operations. When you
Yeah.
have to get into operations, it bogs you down. because I tell you this all the time, David, 90% of the people that call me, they have one thing that they say that is 90% of the time, and it's something like this: I've always dreamed of owning my own health club. I've always wanted to own my own health club. Well, so if that passion isn't because they want to dive into operations, that passion isn't because they want to be signing people up and canceling members and dealing with payment methods. They're not saying it because of that. They're saying it because they had some community inside their health club that they were at and they loved it.
Yeah.
So they want that community. So let's feed that. Let's take away all the stuff that holds somebody back from doing that, right? Let's let them run free. And so when you think about your daily operations, we have it set up to where it is going to reflect what your goals are. If you want to be fully engaged, you want to be half engaged, you want to be not engaged, we have that set up for you and a plan for you so that if you say, I want to be semi-engaged, I'm keeping my full-time job, I can put about 15 to 20 hours in a week. Great. We got a plan for you.
I want to go hang out at my gym after I get off work for a couple hours every day.
Yeah. I'm pulling an Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm going to live upstairs. I'm going to work out every day. I'm going to be there all the time. We got a plan for you.
Put me in the mop closet.
Yeah. We got a plan for you. So what I'm trying to say when it comes to the daily operations is it's pretty clear, and you'll see it, that you're not going to be bogged down with all this paperwork, all these transactions, all this. And that. We are a one complete system. And yes, there's other complete systems out there, but we are the most flexible fitness franchise on the market. And when you say to me, when you call me and say, I've always wanted to own my own health club. So that means you're not sitting around dreaming of another brand. You already have it in your mind. You have that vision. If you called me and said, hey, I've always dreamed of being an owner of an XYZ brand, then great, go buy it. But if you've always dreamed about owning your own health club, this is where you start. Because going out there all by yourself.
Your own. That's right.
Yes. And if you start looking at our locations, you're going to see, oh, that one's got more orange than black. That one's got more blue than black. Oh, that's got some white in it. We have the branding, the color scheme, the boundaries for you. So when you come in and you start to take your vision and apply to our vision, now we're cooking with gas, as they say, right? I mean, now we're on the right path to building,
leveraging our vendors, leveraging our relationships, and getting all the benefits of being in a cooperative buying group that is a franchise sometimes, and then all that stuff is backed by technology that is unparalleled in the industry, and we're always making it better. We're always taking feedback from our franchisees and our members to make sure it's always on cutting edge. And then with Iron Health coming out, we'll be able to offer all the members, any of our franchisees will be able to offer members, GLP-1s, full training, virtual trainings, all of that stuff. And we manage all of that for our franchisees. So there's a ton of stuff coming out that we've really thought about what's the best way of use of our franchisees' time. And that's going to be always making that experience in the gym the best they can with whatever that amount of time that they want to spend there. And so to wrap it all up, to put it all together, I think what we can say here is that no matter how much time you want to spend in the gym itself and operating, whether you want to go full no staff or you want to be part-time or maybe full-time, living in the mop closet, whatever you want to do, we have a plan for you. We have a way that we can make it work for you. And we back it up by technology and just years and years of experience on how to get this done. So appreciate your time today, Marty. I know you're busy. If anybody out there wants to talk to one of our franchise development people, you can go to the website, enter your information, and either Marty or one of his team will be on a call with you in no time. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.